Oh, waffle time, it's waffle time. Will you have some waffles of mine? For the last time, Gray Stripe, I don't know what a waffle is. Firestar doesn't like waffles. Firestar doesn't like waffles?
Firestar doesn't like cookies.
Isn't he a kitty
Stop
cat?
complaining about cookie bars.
I love
Tony, MySpace.com.
I'm surrounded by idiots!
Now, out of all the animated content in the world, why did I just show you this? Well, reason number one, this is Ava. She said she would kill me if she had to watch me do a presentation on a Warrior Cats fan video. I'd like to see her try. There are plenty of Warriors videos on the internet that I could have chosen from, and many of them would have impressed you much more than what you just saw. But I selected Firestar Doesn't Like Waffles for a reason. That reason, that this short is a perfect time capsule of a cultural moment. Please allow me to explain why. The clip I just showed you was a re-upload of the original, as the creator has since deleted their YouTube account. However, before it could be taken down, Firestar had over 1 million views with a glowingly positive like-to-dislike ratio. Nothing of this impact is ever truly lost on the internet, and I could use Internet Archive's Wayback Machine to find records of the original page. Bloodstained Blade originally uploaded it to YouTube on December 18, 2009. From this alone, we can surmise a lot about the short. The 2000s were a unique moment in our cultural history, and there are timely influences we can point to when figuring out why this short is the way it is. Most obviously, we notice the references to the Warriors book series. As you see by this Google Trends chart, it has only increased in popularity since it began in 2003. Two of its main characters are Firestar and Graystripe, cats living in the woods. These books impact the young artists who read them, likely because they have so many beautiful illustrations that officially come with them. I remember copying the covers in middle school when I was first figuring out how to draw. The fan art and animations are often considered to be the best part of being a Warriors fan, and this creative community has kept the fandom strong for over 20 years. However, this doesn't entirely explain the existence of Firestar Doesn't Like Waffles. While they have their lighthearted moments, the books alone are often very dark from a tonal standpoint, especially for teen-targeted media. And even when they do include humor, it's nothing like the kind found in the short. To understand these choices, we must look into the teen culture at the time. The interest in the scene subculture was dwindling by late 2009, but we can't ignore it. It still left its mark on the short film's vibe. Plenty of Bloodstained Blade's humor and aesthetic sensibilities put the movement in mind. Scene kids loved bright colors and absurdism, often preoccupied with being as weird and quirky as humanly possible. So you can see where Blade gets their idea to have these characters be highly saturated and spout nonsense phrases that the viewers can't explain using any context in the source material. It's easy today to look back on the design and scripting and call them cringe, but we must remember that this is what most online spaces dominated by teenagers appeared like at the time. We also have memes to thank for elements of the film. Certain expressions from the characters are traced directly from certain memes, such as this epic smiley face that took off around the late 2000s. Perhaps the genre of meme that impacted the short the most is LOL Cats. This chart tracks their popularity through the early 2000s. I'm sure you all know the type. The phrase "I can has cheeseburger" was practically unavoidable at one point on the internet. These tended to center around cats goofily wanting random foods, reflecting the choices Bloodstained Blade made with the waffles in the script. It may be considered a subversion of the massively popular online trope, as it revolves around a cat who does not want to eat human food. It's also impossible to deny the influence of anime on the film's style. Here we can see Bloodstained Blade's YouTube bio at the time of release, and it mentions anime plenty of times. I support anime warrior cats is the first thing we read about them. Their hobbies include anime and manga, and several anime are in their favorite movies and series list. They lift lots of inspiration from Japanese animation, particularly in the characters' more exaggerated expressions. You can see the similarities here between this frame of Firestar and this screen cap of one of Blade's favorite anime, Bleach. Of course, this doesn't mean we would not have Firestar Of course, this means we would not have Firestar Doesn't Like Waffles without Katsudo Shashin. So let's talk about the film's creator, shall we? There aren't any detailed records of the short's creation available, but we can find out a lot from the archived remnants of the YouTube channel. As we saw on the last slide, Bloodstained Blade was 16 at the time of publication, and we can furthermore learn from their page that this was the first year they had ever done any digital art. And this comment seems to suggest that their preferred program was Sony Vegas. You can see some more examples of their 2009 works right here. It was mainly Warriors stuff in that same anime-adjacent, highly saturated style. I attempted to track down and reach out to Bloodstained Blade or people associated with them for comments, but I didn't receive a response. However, I was able to find their more recent creations and look at their improvement. In just a few short years, their artistic ability showed exponential growth. They branched into different mediums and styles, including 3D modeling for video games, and their 2D animation skills improved. I especially like the energy and detail we can see in this run cycle, and the patterning in this model creature design. They even featured Gray Stripe again in a short animation they made years later, and looking at these two frames side by side shows us their artistic growth. Their story reflects modern animators' experiences. Most of us started with memes and fan creations on the internet before growing into ourselves as creatives. I'm going to play the short for you a second time, not just because it's only 30 seconds long and I need to fill the 60-second requirement set out in the rubric, but because you'll look at it with new eyes now that you know more about the era it came from. And after seeing its artist's more recent work, hopefully it serves as a reminder that even if your creations look similar, you can improve and grow if you keep at it with your craft.
Oh, waffle time, it's waffle time. Will you have some waffles of mine? For the last time, Gray Stripe, I don't know what a waffle is. Firestar doesn't like waffles. Firestar doesn't like waffles?
Firestar doesn't like cookies.
Isn't he a kitty
Stop
cat?
complaining about cookie
I love
Tony, my favorite.
I'm surrounded by idiots!